Welcome to this Explainer, my modern friends. I'm your guide, a banker stepping straight out of the 19th century, here to open my old leather-bound ledger and dive into the truly fascinating history of the United States dollar. As a man accustomed to the heavy clink of actual coins and the deep security of a sturdy vault, the journey of your currency from solid silver pieces all the way to invisible digital trade, well, it's nothing short of a marvel to me.
So, I've got to ask you, looking at those crisp green bills in your wallets today, what exactly backs them? Because I'll tell you, in my era, if a banknote wasn't backed by a vault full of physical bullion, it was worth literally no more than the paper it was printed on. To understand how your modern money operates on pure, absolute faith, we really need to trace its roots.
Section 1. The Ancestor Coins. Let's start at the very beginning of this tale, long before the United States even existed. Okay, let's look at this definition of the Thaler. It was a large silver coin first minted back in the 1500s in the Kingdom of Bohemia, which is now the Czech Republic. And it's from this that the English word dollar actually evolved. In an era of rampant counterfeiting, this magnificent, heavy silver piece was known for its reliable weight and absolute purity. It was legendary. Because of that consistency, the Thaler spread like wildfire across Europe, and eventually the name morphed on English-speaking tongues right into the word dollar.
Now check out the Spanish dollar, or the famous piece of 8. Minted by Spain from rich American silver, it was used across Europe, Asia, and the Americas. It was highly trusted long before the U.S. even existed and widely accepted in the colonies due to British coin scarcity. Because Britain tightly controlled its own currency, British coins were terribly scarce, leaving early merchants desperate for a reliable medium of exchange. So they turned to this highly trusted Spanish coin, which deeply influenced the very concept of future United States currency.
Section 2. Birth of our dollar. The Revolutionary War has ended, and a brand new nation desperately needs its own money.
100. That is the magic number. Back in 1792, the Coinage Act officially created the U.S. dollar and established the United States Mint. But the true, absolute genius of this moment was implementing a brilliant decimal system of exactly 100 cents to a dollar. At the time, this was a highly unusual but elegant escape from those maddeningly complicated British systems of pounds, shillings, and pence that gave merchants a total headache. It was a massive, bold step toward simplicity.
Section 3. The Glorious Gold Standard. We now reach my native element, the 1800s.
An era when paper money could be exchanged for a fixed amount of physical gold. During the 1800s, the dollar was backed by precious metals, first by silver and gold, and later primarily by gold. If you held a paper dollar, you had the unshakable right to walk into my bank and exchange it for a fixed amount of real physical gold. It was a system of profound security. The paper was basically just a convenient receipt. The metal was the undeniable truth. It anchored the money supply right directly to the vaults.
Section 4. Ascending the Global Stage. Let's fast forward past my time, right into the 20th century after World War II.
In 1944, the legendary Bretton Woods Agreement placed the U.S. dollar squarely at the center of international finance through a brilliant two-step mechanism. Step 1. Other global currencies are linked to the U.S. dollar. Step 2. The U.S. dollar is directly linked to gold. While Europe was in ruins, the United States held massive gold reserves and a booming industrial sector. Because of this powerful arrangement, the U.S. dollar practically overnight became the world's main reserve currency.
Section 5. The End of Gold. But good heavens, prepare yourselves for 1971 when President Richard Nixon did the unthinkable.
Nixon officially ended the direct conversion of dollars into gold. We went from the gold standard, where currency value is tied to a fixed amount of physical gold or silver, straight to fiat currency, where value is based purely on government backing and economic trust. Just like that, the global financial system was severed from its metallic anchor. It was a total paradigm shift. Your money's value was no longer based on a single ounce of gold hidden away in a vault.
Section 6. The Modern Fiat Wonder. As an 1800s banker,
I've got to tell you, I am simply astonished at how this modern system operates today.
Let's look at the modern U.S. dollar. Issued by the Federal Reserve System, it is the most traded currency globally. It's the standard for international trade and oil markets, held by central banks worldwide as their primary reserves, and universally recognized by its common symbols, the dollar sign and USD. Entire systems, like the petrodollar markets, rely completely on this paper and digital ledger. To witness such global dominance running purely on a system of faith, it's truly staggering to me.
Reviewing this timeline, the dollar's ascent has been truly breathtaking. In the 1500s, the Thaler coin appears in Europe. By the 1700s, the highly trusted Spanish dollar is used in the colonies. In 1792, the US dollar is officially created. Then comes the 1800s, my era of gold and silver-backed currency. Moving forward, in 1944, the Bretton Woods system is established, locking the dollar to gold globally. But in 1971, the US leaves the gold standard completely. And today, the fiat dollar serves as the ultimate global reserve currency.
The most powerful currency in the world is no longer backed by gold, but by human trust. I want to leave you with this provocative thought to ponder, my modern friends. If the dollar is absolutely untethered from physical gold, isn't it completely fascinating that the entirety of modern global trade runs on the invisible currency of our collective trust? Thank you for letting an old banker guide you through this explainer today. Keep an eye on those fiat bills and stay curious.